Oh baby, this is the new Unit Loss t-shirt. It is the Good Aim, Bad Positioning t-shirt. These are available in the store right now, link in the video description below. If you buy one of these, you have a chance to win one of 10 of the golden limited edition Unit Loss t-shirts. Oh baby, it is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa, and this is going to be a very serious video. What I have done is performed an experiment yesterday. So, what I did was, I got my original Stylosa account, which I've played on a little bit this season. I think it's got around about 110 wins or something on the account. I think it's like 3,850-ish rated, so it's my lowest rated account. But what I decided to do is rename this account to Crusher99. Now, the reason for this is there are loads of Crusher 99s out there. There's loads of Legend 27s out there and things like that. So it's kind of easier for me to go unnoticed in games, right? Because everybody knows Spitfire, Statebait, obviously Stylosa, and all of that. So I'm pretty sure they act a little bit differently when they see me in the game. So, as an experiment, what happens if I just change my name to Crusher99, play some competitive? What do we see? And honestly, guys, it's pretty much like I've been saying constantly for the last couple of weeks on Twitter, and a lot of you guys have probably been like, well, yeah, I agree with this, Sty. It's broken, isn't it? Competitive. And it really pains me, right? Because I love this game. This game has done so much for me. And yeah, I sit here thinking, I'm going into competitive, and you know what? Let's just get into the video, guys. I'll show you what I mean. So the first thing that absolutely annoys me is no role select, or at least no kind of selection of who you want to play. Look at these teams. So we've got a Mercy, we've got a Hanzo, we've got another Mercy, we've got a Genji, we've got a McCree. Right, and obviously you've got me, right? Look at the enemy team. The enemy team has a team. Look at this. They've got 2 support mains. It's probably not going to go great for us, right? Well, let's look at some other examples as well, because this happens all the time. And by the way, that first game was a defeat. Look at this. We've got a Widow, we've got a Tracer, we've got a Genji, we've got a Widow again, and then we've got me. Then we've got a, well, as you're about to see, a tank team with supports. It's just too random. Like, it goes in both ways, and we won that game quite easily. We won that game because we had DPS players. You can't win without DPS players, just like you can't win without tank players or support players. But too often this game puts you together with too many supports or too many DPS players. Now, just for reference, guys, all of these clips you're seeing here happened within 3 hours, yeah? 3-hour play session, all of this happened. So what we got here is we're rolling the enemy kind of, you know, pretty hard. There's a minute 40 to go on Dorado here, and somebody leaves the game. And then we go forward to our defensive phase, and you can see everyone just leaves the game because, of course, that person never came back. Leavers is a massive problem in this game. I know there is harsher punishments coming and all of this, or they're kind of out right now, etc, etc. But within a 3-hour block, it happened way too, just way too often. Okay, so let's take a look at this happening again, because remember, 3-hour block. We've just seen 2 examples of levers. We're about to see another example, or we've seen 1 example, we're about to see another one. It happens so often, you know, what the hell is going on? Now, this is a frighteningly fast time we've set again. There seems to be a direct correlation between this. If you roll the enemy, generally not because you're much better players than them, right? It's just because you've got a team that can actually play as a team, because you've got people who will play the same heroes that will build a team. Look at this, that people just start leaving. It's like, oh, let's leave. And if you look at the chat here, this guy, Hero, actually has a good point. Overwatch isn't a bad game, he says. And then he goes on to say it's actually just the people playing the game. And it kind of is true. But Overwatch needs to do something more to stop these people from just throwing like this, because it is so frustrating. Because I can imagine what happened on the enemy team. They got rolled so hard, so some guy just gives up and leaves the game because he knows, whatever. You know, like I think it actually said in the chat here, oh, it doesn't matter. You know, there'll just be the leaver will get a 5-minute ban. And it's kind of laughable, but yeah, he will. Oh, but he'll be back. It's fine. You see, I feel a lot of these issues are solved with role select. You might be saying, oh, Sty, that's such a simple solution to this. And yeah, we know the devs have said they don't like role select or any of that. But if you could put me, and it'd force a meta and whatever. But being put into a team where you have no DPS players, or put into a team where you have no tanks, or you've got 5 supports, how are you supposed to win that game? That's where the defeats are coming from in this game, right? Within this play session, I don't think I was legitimately beat by the enemy team, right? And when I mean legitimately, I mean 2 evenly matched teams going against it, or going at it with each other. Evenly matched, yes, everybody's got even MMR and SR, so we're all the same sort of skill level. But I'm talking about being able to build a team, you know what I mean? It's so frustrating. Okay, so this this is a very interesting game, this one. So it's on Volsky Industries, and we've got one healer, which is worrying, right? Because, again, we've got too much DPS. But it's okay. You might have noticed the chat just as this clip started. I'm like, Genji, please dive the high ground with me. And Zarya said she's going to bubble me. It's very basic stuff. This is because nobody's in voice chat, right? Which happens quite often in these games. And, you know, these are like borderline GM level games. It's not like they're low level games. People should be using voice chat, but they don't. They do sometimes, just to rage and flame at people. Like, you notice Genji started speaking there, so I don't know what he was doing before, so whatever. But you notice, look at this, right? We're starting to take the point here. Everything's going quite well. You know, it's going fine. There's really no reason to, let's say, get angry at the game, is there, at this point? And there's not, but obviously stay tuned, because you'll see certain things start to happen. And this comes into the whole concept of, well, it's not even a concept, it's just the truth of Overwatch competitive. You have to babysit people. If you don't, then you lose a lot of games. And I don't want to be going into a game thinking, all right, by the way, this is a pretty nice ultimate off me here. Just bash them back into the... Like, force them to C9, bash them off the point. It's like, get away! That's beautiful. But going into a game just to babysit people, to say, guys, please don't throw. The Genji player on our team, you'll see in a second, after we capture this point, we go forward, and then we fail to capture the final point. Because it's Volsky Industries, right? Without a decisive attack, without comms, without... you know, stockpiling ultimates or wiping the enemy team out, it's going to be quite difficult, right, to take them out and to capture the point. So, we're going to go forward here, and we're going to see, you know, just a more advanced fight taking place here on the final point. You know, it's pretty back and forth. It's typical 2CP, but it's starting to grate on the team, this is. And this is causing people to get, not toxic, but... I don't really know what to say. Anyway, so this is our defensive period. Look, SPDR has selected Hanzo. So this has got me worried, right? Considering he wasn't playing Hanzo on the first point. So I think let's have a look at his profile. And I'm like, this guy has 49 minutes on Hanzo. He is now just thinking, I don't care. I'm just going to play Hanzo. That's good and bad, right? Now, you'll notice what I'm saying to the guy here. I'm like, SPDR. We can still win this. But you notice I almost was like, why? What are you doing? Like, what the hell are you doing? Because we can still win this. And, like, he said, who says we can't? That's true, but you've got 49 minutes on Hanzo this season, right? So he clearly has got to the point where he's just like, whatever, I'm just going to play what I like. And those players, right, are a problem in this game. Because this mode is called competitive, right? It means you play your best heroes, which, like I said, we need role select so people are not going into teams with 5 or 6 of the same goddamn main on the team, which is stupid. That guy clearly doesn't want to do it. And look, he says people like you are the reason why profiles should be private, and he just leaves the voice channel. What's going on? You know, why is the guy doing this? But then look at this here, right? Look at the top right. Look who is getting the kills here. Look who's just saved this game in overtime. SPDR has won the game. So I'm like, I hate 2CP, right? I've typed that in because that was really close. That was like we kept basically rushing back to the point to try and win. The enemy team couldn't cap us, and then Reaper used his ultimate to kill everyone. But then I'm like, okay, I'll compliment this guy, because I know this guy clearly needs babysitting. If we don't babysit this guy, he's going to be toxic into the next game, and then into the next game. So I'm like, hey, you know, great. You know me, guys. I want to be positive. But this is draining on me now. Really, really draining for me to go into competitive and have to do this all the time. I don't really want to do that. You know, it's taking the fun out of what is, in my eyes, the best game mode in the game. Ooh. Okay, this is just straight up trolling. Remember, guys, all of these from the same 3-hour gameplay period. This is pure troll. Look at this guy. What is he doing? He is running back to spawn. So I'm like, 76. Why are you there, mate? And I'm like, just report him. That's troll. Like, where he's trolling the game there. And he's like, laughed my ass off. Well, you can see where he is there. Can you see the blue icon above my left Reaper weapon? That's where he is. Why is he there? He has no point. He has no reason to be there. Yet he's ran over there. It's because he doesn't care. He's like, well, we're not going to cap the point. I'll just run away. You know, he's like, oh, I just run to survive. He hasn't. He's a troll. These players need to be heavily punished, like severely punished, because they don't care. They're not here to win. They're just here to troll. And that game was a defeat as well, by the way. We also had a Junkrat player in that game who was very toxic, which I didn't use any voice comms from that guy, but yeah. And then you get this game, right? This is... Now, I don't want to blow my own trumpet here, but I'm actually having a really good game here, right? I'm not going to commentate. You can see what's happening here, right? I'm just going around. I'm just killing everybody. I'm feeling good. I'm absolutely, all my shots are landing. Everything's working out. You know, sometimes this happens. I'm feeling great. We're easily going to cap the point. It's all great. You're probably thinking at this point, well, the enemy team have been annihilated, right? They've got no chance. We've basically walked into the point. I've just started killing absolutely everybody. It's awesome. What a result. This game's probably going to be awesome. But it's Overwatch, isn't it? And remember, we've got to babysit everyone, because if we don't, the game's not going to babysit them, and I don't think the game ever could. But why are these situations happening in the first place? Like, why are these people playing competitive? Why are these people allowed to, you know, look, why is this just such a common, a frequent thing with the game? Like, it's so disheartening to me. It's like I said at the start of this video, this is literally the best game I've ever played. This game has changed my life. I do not want to see this game become just like forgotten about because it's got issues with competitive. You guys out there, honestly, in the comments below, tell me if you're playing competitive as much as you used to or more. I guarantee you're playing it less, because I know I'm playing it less. And it's not because the game's bad, it's just because, well, competitive. Now look at this, right? Magical types GG in the chat. So I reply with GG thinking Magical's on the other team. Then I press tab. Magical's actually on our team. So I'm thinking, what's going on, right? Why is that person typed GG in the chat? The enemy team says GG, and Magical says throwers are fun. Who is throwing in this game? Who is throwing? Like, maybe he doesn't like the Hanzo, but that Villodin guy only ever plays Hanzo. Again, another problem with competitive. Why do you want these players like who just main heroes in every game? It's so frustrating. And as you can see, ended up in a defeat. So, look, let's just start with my last point there. Why do, like, the people who main heroes, somebody who mains Hanzo, right? Why do you want these people in your game? Hanzo is okay, right? But the thing with Overwatch is, at a fundamental level, it is about flex. It is about selecting a hero which you can use for any given situation. So if the enemy are running, like, I don't know, a Zarya and a McCree, right? Maybe your Genji that you're playing might not be the greatest, because Zarya obviously is a pretty good counter to Genji, and McCree, if he's popping off, is going to take out the Genji. So maybe you swap to something else. Or maybe the enemy has got a very good Genji player and you're playing Reinhardt as the main tank. Maybe you think, oh, you know what, I'll swap to Winston, because Winston's going to be able to deal with the Genji a little bit better. Very basic examples. The problem with Overwatch is it rewards people for just playing one hero. This is because of the performance-based SR system, which we all know about, and honestly is a load of trash, let's be honest, because if it is just saying, oh yeah, you know, I play the same hero over and over and over and over and over again, so I become better with that hero, so I gain more SR when I win, and I lose less SR when I lose, so why the hell should I play other heroes? And on a fundamental level, the way Overwatch is designed is for you to become, I guess attracted is the word, to one hero. So you look at, like, I don't know, a Hanzo and think, yeah, I really want to be the guy with the bow. So you play that, right? Attracted to Hanzo. But you play him over and over again, right? So you become good with him, and then you don't really want to play anybody else, right? Even though you might actually be able to play other heroes, you don't care. Now, a game that is based on being flexible, countering what the enemy have got, very rarely do you see anybody actually do that. Everybody just plays the hero they want to play, and you have to hope that you get a team which will fit together. So in the current meta right now, obviously Doomfist is going to go live today, but in the current meta right now, when I say live and competitive, in the current meta right now, you get a Winston main, you get a Lucio main, you get a Zen main on your team, you have won the game. And the rest of the DPS, right? You have won that game because your core is solid. If the enemy team don't have that, don't even have a tank player, you can really tell. Now, you'll notice, right, I notice this a lot, where this account is playing at, like I said, it's at like 3.8k. You will notice players that seem to be really, really bad, right? And you'll be like, why is this Winston randomly jumping in on the enemy team? What the hell is going on? Why is he doing this? Is this guy a bad player? Well, then you look at his profile, and he's not played any Winston. That player there is being a genuine guy, right? What he is doing is going, right, I'm going to play the hero I know we need, guys. We need a tank, so I'm not going to play my Tracer. I am going to play Winston. And he tries, but bless his little cotton socks, he hasn't played enough Winston to be able to play it at that level. So then he plays really bad. And if his team lose, right, maybe his team win, but most, maybe the team loses, right? Let's just go with the fact they lose, right? That player then will get heavily punished for playing Winston way below the level he's at, because it compares you to other Winston players at your MMR and SR range and says you really underperformed, so you gain less SR. What that does, it means in the next game, that guy plays Tracer. You have done this, guys. I have done this. I will be honest with you. I've done this, right? I've gone into a game, flexed. We've been absolutely destroyed because maybe we needed a Lucio. My Lucio play isn't great. Not with the new Lucio. I don't play Lucio at all, really. But I know we need Lucio. So I play Lucio. We get wrecked. I lose loads of SR. And I think, you know what? The next game, I'm just going to play Soldier. I don't care. So I'll insta-lock Soldier in, play through Soldier, win the game, and think, oh, yeah, nice. And you just keep doing that. That is horrifically bad behavior. And if it's making somebody like me do that, that is bad. This game has to, the game doesn't have to change. This is the thing, right? The game is beautiful. The game is a glorious creation. It's wonderful. Competitive, though, is not at a good enough state. It's getting way too long in the tooth now, and it needs some changes to make this more interesting. Now, what's worrying to me is Lucio Ball competitive, right? Because that says to me, they're okay with the way this competitive mode is. A dynamic queue, so everybody can just queue in different size groups. It doesn't really matter. And there's no restriction on what hero you're playing, which, that's fine. I don't want to be restricted in what heroes I want to play, but I'd very much like to say to the game, I would like to play offense and support. And so it goes, okay, you're offense and support, and you actually have, offense and support icons under your name, possibly. Now, Overwatch have said the reason why they're not going to do this and probably won't ever do it is because you might need to play a tank even though you say support or offense. And that's true, right? So, what about this then? And I think this could be a good answer to this whole problem, possibly. We need a rating system for players, right? But I'm not talking a basic rating system like, oh yeah, this guy's great. I think League of Legends has got one where it's like, oh yeah, I like this player, he's great, give him a thumbs up. Don't like this player, give him a thumbs down, right? And then it will start putting the thumbs down guys with each other and the more team-orientated people together or whatever, right? I'm not asking for that. What I'm asking for is, I kind of would like to rate a player on their ability to play Overwatch. And in my eyes, that is their ability to be flexible and play as a team, right? If somebody is communicating well, if somebody is willing to build a team, right, wants to work as a team, they should be commended for that. Those players should get some type of reward, and then they should be put together. Dota 2 recently, maybe some of you guys don't play it, I don't play the game, but they came out with a system for new players where if you are a lower level account, when you play that game, it will put you with higher level players who have a positive community rating, so they're not going to be toxic players. I would rather play with worse players, yeah, if they were not toxic. I don't care. I just want to have fun when I play this game. I want to play to win because it's competitive. What I do not want is somebody in the game who refuses to swap and becomes toxic and there's just a whole host of issues, guys. I just wanted to get this off my chest, right? This might have been a bit of a ranty video. I'm sorry for that. But as I say, all of the footage you've seen in the background here is from a 3-hour play session. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a straight up gameplay sort of series on competitive. I'm going to use the Crusher account and I'm going to use the State-Bake account for Doomfist primarily. But also, like I said, I will be flex. I'm not just going to play Doomfist regardless of whatever's going on. So it's going to be interesting just to see that, because that will have full game audio. You'll be able to hear everything. If people are toxic to me, well then you'll just see it, because I don't think I can't hide the players anymore because they're everywhere. Guys, I've been Stylosa, this is Unit Lost, and yeah, Overwatch. I really hope something changes with competitive soon. And I don't think the answer is different types of modes. I want this mode fixing. I want the game to sort players out and not say it's fine to do whatever you like in this game, because the fundamental fact is, in Overwatch, it takes one player to throw a game, but it takes 6 players to win a game. Guys, I'm in Stylosa, this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. Join the Discord as well, which is discord.gg/UnitLost, and I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.